I define a presentation as we get through. It's very important that they know who you are, get your NPN, get a picture of you, get something, your digital business card. Once they receive that and write my information down, that's a presentation.
Okay.
Okay. Anything before that, we fight in the fight, right? Everybody know the fight, right? Like, let's get it rocking. I want at least 10 of those presentations. Of those 10, give me 10 people write my info down.
Man, tell the people a little bit about yourself. I know you're based out of California as well, but if you can, just give like a quick, 30-second um, summary of yourself really quick so that way people can kind of get to know who they're speaking with as well.
No doubt. All right. So, like I said, 14 years in the industry. I'm 38. All right. I started insurance right after I was done playing baseball. I played baseball at North Carolina State. I was good enough to play there, but not good enough to continue to play. Right. But I was very okay with that. It wasn't. I, I knew that it gave me all that it was supposed to give me. So when it was time to turn the page, I didn't know what else I was going to do. But my buddy, who was playing center field for us, was much better than me. Got drafted like in the fifth round. Okay. And during the off season, Jalen, he was selling life insurance.
Oh wow.
And it just was, I was 24. I was like, bro, what you doing? Like you just signed with the Nationals and you selling insurance during the off season. I was like, all right, well, if it's good enough for you, because I was just sitting on the couch. Makes sense. Well, I was going to school, y'all, but like, y'all, come on. Me and my mom still had a joint bank account. You know what I mean? So like it wasn't real for me. But when I saw him doing something that was a little different, I was in for that because baseball was always different. Athletics was different. It was comfortable if you did it, but waking up at 5 a.m., going to weights, doing your thing, like there's something to that. There was some entrepreneurship to that that I didn't really know, but my buddy who was like me was doing it. So I was like, dude, I'm in. So I got my license and then we started doing it. But my buddy found it, Jalen, on Craigslist.
Wow. Okay.
You know what I mean? So like that, he was just looking for something just on Craigslist that said athletic military background. He responded, and then he went to a meeting. All right, met our mentor, and then dude, it was a wrap after that. And that was shoot December of shoot 2011.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
11.
That's
Yeah.
that's incredible, man. That's incredible. So you came in at the beginning of FFL's like start essentially.
Oh, dude, yeah, I was there day one.
Yeah.
I'm agent number two.
Look at that. Right.
You know?
When he said his mentor, he's talking about Sean Mike, y'all, by the way.
Yes,
All right.
sir. Yeah.
Very rarely are you able to be connected with a person like Sean Mike, right? Very rarely be good friends with them as well. Right. So some of the information we're going to give you guys, he's going to give you guys tonight. I want you guys to be able to understand that this is coming from the rooms that he's been in and been able to get information from. So I really want you guys to listen in on what he has to share as well. Okay, so I just got a couple questions for you, Dom. Right, so like
Yep.
since 2011, last 14 years you've been crushing over inside the insurance industry. Obviously, you probably were face to face at the time, and then you transitioned to phone sales,
Yeah.
right? So you was here when the typewriters and stuff was still here. You know what I'm saying?
Man, man, we I was here, bro. I was here. We was faxing. I was the funny part, and don't let me get off too far on this, but like just I want to give y'all some perspective. I was talking to some agents the other day about your emotions, right? How fast you can get up and get down in this business. And I love the instant decision. I love that you could just write a policy. I love that you could get a decline and then
Yes.
pivot to the next place. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? When I started, I'm seeing Deanna right now, but so Deanna, we talking right now, okay? So when I started Deanna, um, we would send the application in on a Monday, right? You write it on a Monday, send it in on a Tuesday. They may see it on Thursday. Then you find out next Thursday if it got approved or not. And Deanna, I don't know about you, but we are not the best field underwriters. Okay. You'd be like, they told me everything they got. Yeah, right. Okay. Dude. But one thing I'll say to that, Jalen, is when I submitted that application on a Monday, although it took forever for me to get that decision, I felt like a winner.
Mm.
and I got to feel that winning vibe for days. You know what I mean? And I think today we get that negative response so quick that it almost allows us to lose our juice that we need to be an entrepreneur in sales all the time. So although I love the speed, and speed is why we're so big right now, we just have to be so cognizant of our emotions and how this telesales is going to work. So you made me think of that talking about this transition. But yeah, but the transition from telesales, I mean, from in the field to telesales was definitely, I was a little later with it, bro. Like our agency transitioned probably 3 years ago, but everybody transitioned like 4 years ago. So maybe like 2.5. And then I went out and sold last year full-time telesales to really get a grasp on it because I didn't understand. I didn't understand it. I didn't understand just getting on the phone and just calling people all day.
It's
You know
a,
what I mean?
it's definitely a different sell, man. Like
Yeah,
when I first started 6 years ago, I started face to face as well, and we still had the e applications, right? But
yeah,
um, transitioning to over the phone, it was a big difference. And I think that some people feel like they can be able to transition from the from face to face to the phone sales and think that it's gonna be an easy transition, and it's not because it's a different sell, right? So just talk a little bit more about like kind of like the conversation you were having with some of your agents the other day, because I think that is very important when you're what you were speaking about not getting too high and not getting too low in the business, and kind of just maintaining like this even pill. Why is that so important for agents to stay even pill in the business?
well, it's the only thing you can control, and this wasn't planned right here. This attitude and activity, sir, right? But it's so true. Like the only thing you can look at in this business is your activity. And I think sometimes when we're starting, I'm speaking to the new agent. Okay, is that a good crowd to speak to here?
Yeah, of course.
They folks starting 6 months, 90 days, something like that. All right. So I gotta be where we're so quick to the result of I need to get paid, right? Like I need to get paid, I need to get paid. But and when you go get a job, it typically takes like 2 weeks, sometimes a month to get paid. But you never ride this emotional roller coaster day 4 at your job. You're never like, oh, dude, this is gonna be just. But we allow ourselves as our own business owners to do that.
Hmm.
See, you're the investor and the worker. Okay. When the investor is there and you're just the worker, dude, you put your 40 hours in, no sweat. Actually, you put 80 hours in minimally before you get paid, and you don't even blink an eye. But when you're the investor and the worker, oh, now you start getting a little, makes sense? But imagine, but somebody on here right now is like, damn, when you put it like that, yeah, I had to get it put like that for me too. Because then I started to see like, oh, okay. So to say this attitude and activity, let's focus on the activity, is if I'm doing what I need to do, if you track dials, do your dials. If you track presentations, track your presentations. Whatever it is you track, whatever your KPIs are, okay? Those are the things that you need to get emotional about. And I say quotation emotional about because when you look at it, you're going to go, are my emotions even valid?
Hmm.
Should I even be upset? I made 102 calls. Does that make sense? Like I shouldn't even be upset. You know, I don't have a John Wetmore says this a lot of the times. He goes, did you dial all day or did it take you all day to dial? Right? Time is the time, but was your activity locked in? Now, at the end of that day, if it took you all day to dial, then you got to judge your activity and go, I could do better. You don't need to be emotional about it. You don't need to, oh, I'm terrible. There's no shame in this game. All right. Don't be shaming yourself either. Oh, I'm just not good at this. No, don't do that. Don't do that. We call people who filled out forms. Like, don't. If somebody says they're really good at it too, they're full of themselves. That's like being a good pizza delivery driver. You know what I mean? People are like, oh, I'm really good at selling insurance. I'm like, so you sell it to people who didn't fill out forms? They go, no, I sell it to people who fill out the forms. I'm like, well, shit, bro. Like, you just work more than other people. because it's like being a good delivery driver is like, dude, you just worked on the Super Bowl. Yeah. You just chose to work on the days that the other delivery drivers said they didn't want to work. And it's the same thing in sales.
Mhm.
You work nights, you work weekends. Okay, you work earlier. You're on the West Coast. You start dialing at 5 a.m. You're on the East Coast. You stop dialing at 12 a.m.
Mhm.
Those are the things that are going to set you apart. But if you're not doing those things, why be emotional about this? All right. And Sean Mike says this all the time. And take this like into your presentation too. There's twofold, right? So when I talk to a client, let them know, like, if they're giving you a hard time, I don't know if this is the right time for me to do this or whatever. I don't know, whatever it is. To me, it's a value thing. And maybe they think they're doing you a favor, right? You ever feel like that? You ever feel like you're on the phone with a client and they feel like they're saying stuff like, you know what, Jalen, you did a very good job today. And, I just got to stop them right there and say, hey, Jalen, with all due respect, I'm not going to retire if you buy it. And I'm not going to kill myself if you don't. So do you want to be the adult and take care of the insurance? Or should I call the other adults that I have? Because I got so many of these. I got so many people to call. See, people want to work with indifference. And when your activity is high, somebody heard that and goes, "Ooh, you would say that?" Yeah, I say that because I present to like 10, 12 people a day.
Mm.
If you present to 2 or 3, you're kind of scared to roll the dice. I get it. But also your persistency is probably really shaky too because you're trying to close everything. Makes sense? I'm willing to let some go. But you let them go or you find the real sticky ones by letting them know, hey, dude, this is going to help you more than it helped me. But my activity has to be high in order to have that type of posture. You will never have that type of posture if you're not. All right, so don't get too high. Let the clients know that, right? And don't get too low and let the clients know that. But personally, yourself, man, sometimes in baseball, I'd hit the hell out of the ball and they catch it. Does that mean that I need to change my approach? I need to change my swing? Does that mean I didn't have a good swing? No. A lot of you guys have good presentations and you don't close and you shame yourself. You start changing, you start watching, you go watch another YouTube video and you go, man, I'm gonna just try that. I'm gonna try what such and such says. I'm like, dude, it worked. They just caught it. They just caught it. Y'all watch the World Series, right? There was a lot of great plays. Bro, they just caught it. They just caught it. They had to tip their cap and go, you know what? Shit, that was a good play. And a lot of the time, what allows you not to play this emotional roller coaster is to know that sometimes there's good plays that are made. All right, because your activity's there, right? Now your attitude has to respond right to the activity you're giving. Because there's some people out there busting their butts, but their attitude's so jacked up that they're running themselves into the ground. Mm. You know what I'm saying? Like they're working hard, bro. They're the 12 hours a day. But somebody hangs up on them, oh, you mother. I'm like, dude, that's not like, you're not helping. You got to have better self-talk. Mm-hmm. You got to be calling the next lead going, you know what? This is the one. Yep, I'm about to call this one right here. This is the one I'm about to pick. Like this is, you got to be. And that's why I love that you took some time at the beginning here to get that audio right, because I love affirmations. Okay. That song is just an affirmation on beat. Makes sense? Like that's like, it is just like, oh my God, like if you, and it's funny, and I hope people was laughing and moving with it, but hopefully it's hitting their heart. You know what I'm saying? Hopefully it's really hitting their heart and they're going, oh, I can be what I want to be. If I work hard at it, come on, I'll be where I want to be. That's for all of us. Yes. That's for everybody. But if your attitude ain't right while you're working hard, somebody else gonna pass you. And I've seen it. You know what I mean? Don't let negativity seep in. Sometimes it's the people around you. Sometimes not even in the business, in your house. Set boundaries. A lot of us work from home. How to set boundaries. What this is gonna look like. What are we doing this for? What am I willing to give up in order to get there? That's going to allow you to keep your emotions in check. So if the people around you know why you're doing and what you're doing and what you're giving up may be dinner with your kids on Monday nights because of this call. They need to know that. Not just, oh, dad's doing a call right now. No. Let them know already every Monday night, this is where he's going to be. This is where she's going to be. Why? so that we can live a better life. Not just because dad or mom is busy. No, they're building something. I promise you, when the people around you see you as building something versus busy, it's all because you did a good job at communicating to them about what you're doing.
Mm.
It's easier when you got an office to go to, right? When you get in your car and just drive to the office, they know, oh shoot, he gone, she gone. But you ain't a lot of it. We don't have. I'm at my house right now. I built an office at my house. Like this is like, but I had to set boundaries so that my attitude and my activity can stay where it needs to be. Otherwise, you're going to fall into virtual sales. You'll fall into just saying yes to everything, and you'll be lost. That was another thing about virtual sales. We could talk about the sales process. That's a whole. That's one piece. But the environment is something you need to control too. You know?
Yeah, no, indeed. I love how you talk about like the boundaries, man. This is all so good. This is also good. I love how you talk about setting boundaries, like, because we're huge on that as well. I remember when I got started in the business, man, and I started having a little bit of success, and that's one of the first thing my coaches told me. He said, Jalen, you gotta start setting some boundaries and some restrictions from your family, because the minute you tell them you're an entrepreneur, you're a business owner, and you're doing all these things, they immediately equate that to you got a lot of free time. And your mom wants you to come over, start taking out the dinner and doing all these other things. I'm like, Mom, listen, no, don't call me until after 8 o'clock in the evening, right? When I was dating at the time, I'm like, yo, I'm working and I'm busy. If I don't respond to you, don't text you back, is because I'm probably sitting with Miss Betty. Right? Oh, you like those steak dinners on the weekend? Okay, cool. Yeah, I need to lock in during the week so I can be able to do it, right? And that's I believe that is a hack for all agents. If they can really get their schedule and their routine down and set those boundaries, it can literally change their business drastically, right? And switching topics really quick, man. So yeah, I know you were talking about like how you do 10 to 12 presentations a day, man. That's
Yeah.
incredible. Like how do you get that many presentations? Some people are probably asking that question. Like, how do you
Yeah.
possibly get 10 to 12 presentations a day? Like, what does that look like? What time do you start dialing and your team start dialing? Like, just walk me through that process a little bit on how you get that many presentations.
All right. So what I define a presentation as, let's start there, okay? I define a presentation as we get through, it's very important that they know who you are, get your NPN, get a picture of you, get something, your digital business card. Once they receive that and write my information down, that's a presentation,
Okay.
okay? Anything before that, we fight in the fight, right? Everybody know the fight, right? Like let's get it rocking. I want at least 10 of those presentations. Of those 10, give me 10 people write my info down, right? Does anybody agree that that's a good, you got a shot, right? You got a good shot right there,
That's good.
okay? So to get that, dude, my lead spend, all right, is about 1,500 to 2,000 a week, all right? My goal is to write $10,000 to $15,000 a week.
Hmm.
That's my goal, all right? Drop dead 10. All right, there's no way. Now, average premium is going to be probably about 1,500. I do some vet final expense, pretty general.
Yeah.
They got mortgage, Meta, mortgage leads, and then IUL. All right, so do a little mix of all three. I'm just telling you personally what I do. I know there's people out there who do 1, 3, 18, all in it. Like, it don't matter, guys. The lead's the lead, the lead. All
Yeah.
right. And the reason I told you about the lead spend before the lead type is because the lead spend is actually what matters. Okay. At the end of the day, you could chop $1,500 anyway. It's just a matter of how you're going to work it. Makes
Hmm.
sense. So I got a mix of a lot of one call closes, Jalen. All right. And I will have probably 10 scheduled appointments each day. So I want to have about 40 to 50 scheduled appointments a week. Now, out of those scheduled appointments, you guys don't have your hopes high. All right. You're going to sit with like 20 to 30%, maybe 40% on a great day. Okay. But I do that just to make sure, because the appointments that actually do pick up, they almost like lay downs.
Yeah. Hmm.
Telesales. It's a different world on telesales. These are things I had to learn. Okay. My whole life before was in-person appointments. I couldn't imagine like just leaving my house and just going to go knock on doors and just hoping stuff happens. That's the way I thought. That's the way I saw telesales. I was like, damn, y'all just get on the phone and just call people up and just hope that they're ready to do it. Like, damn, all right. Because I was just so used to having appointments of people expecting me to come over. But that don't work on telesales, or I haven't cracked the code on how to get over 50, 60% of people how to pick up the phone.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't. I consider I'm pretty damn good at booking them. I taught people. I got teams of people. Like it just don't work. People have an option. Like imagine this, you guys. Just so for the person who's still thinking appointments work, I'm like, okay. How hard is it to schedule the appointment? Your schedule percentage is like 95% on telesales. If they pick up and your objective is to schedule the appointment, if you don't, you got to be really damn bad. Does anybody disagree? Like this is the mind games that telesales appointments does to you. Okay? Because dude, everybody will pick up the phone. Everybody will be like, all right, they'll say yeah just because they're gonna say no, they're not gonna pick up the phone. So one call close is the way to go. Be very good at getting folks on the phone, and like now is the best time. I had to create this sense of urgency to make those one call closes work. All right, because that lead spin with a ton of appointments in the future is going to be a waste of money. And I've done that before. Mm-hmm. I did that. I was spending the money, booking appointments with my transition because I thought I was like, oh, you know that stuff that they talk about. Like I'm old school, bro. I know what I'm doing. Yeah, right. Okay. I had to be a student. All right, and go, okay, they're doing these one call closes. They're getting people on the phone. They're being very intentional about. I wasn't even big on giving my my credentials because in the field you never did that. Yeah. In the field you just walked in and said, hey, I'm here. You know what I mean? Like I don't even think they even knew I had a license. They just assumed I did. On the phone, dude, you got to be so clear with that and just on it because it's all trust. So that's the lead spin. That's the expectations. But I want 10 of those. 10. I close presentations are closed opportunities. Mm-hmm. All right. And then from there, man, if I get 10 close opportunities, anybody on here can close 3 or 4, and you're going to have some couples. You know what I mean? So it may be a $3,000 day, and maybe a $7,000 day. Mm-hmm. But odds of it being a no $1,000 day are very unlikely.
If the agents put that activity in and work,
100%.
100%. Yeah, no, that's good, man. And I imagine, the lead spin and everything. Walk me through this, right? So like when it comes to like the leads and things of that nature, right? Because the way I look at a lead now with my experience is just a lead is just an opportunity, right? Like if I get them on the phone, I already got the mindset I'm gonna close them, right? Like that's just my mentality. So are you working like a mix of fresh leads and aged leads, or what does that look like to be able to get the amount of leads that you can possibly have in order to be able to get through that many presentations?
All right, I'm gonna be frank. All right, this is if I advise, I have things that I advise and I have things that I do. Okay, I'm gonna tell you what I advise first. I'm a new agent coming in and I am tight on funds. Right, I'm gonna buy a whole bunch of age leads. Okay, bunch of age leads, and I mean tight on funds meaning if I spend 500, I'm like, oh, my palms are sweating. I'm like, anxiety going into this isn't good. Mm-hmm. Okay, all right. So I do a whole bunch of age leads and I want to parlay that into fresh leads. All right. I'm a big fresh leads. All right. I understand age leads. Age leads is if you don't got no money. Okay. And you got a lot of time. Yeah. I'd rather have the ones that they just clicked on. All right. Like it just seems like it makes sense, right? Like it just seems like the more they cost, probably the better it's going to be for me. Like I don't shy away from that. I'm not this big ROI guy. I'm not trying to be I'm trying to spend as little as possible and get as much as I can back. I'm like, dog, no, I'm just trying to make as much money as I can as quick as possible. And if I know with the newer leads, I can make my money back in 48 hours versus the age leads, I got to work 3 times as hard and it's going to take me 7 to 10 days. Why would I do that? Mm-hmm. I know I can do it, but damn, this isn't, I don't know. I don't get any glory from going, oh, dude, I turned that age lead over. Like, I don't give a damn. Like, give me that fresh one. Give me the one that they just clicked on. And yeah, I like that one. Yeah. But with that one, I got to be prepared.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I got to be prepared. I got to be rocking. So I'm a big new leads, man. Like if you got the money or you got a credit card, bet on yourself. Quit playing around.
Hmm.
Like there's a, I knew this just makes sense. Like I saw this thing Kevin Hart was doing. He's funny as hell, but there's a lot of truth in the stuff that he does. And they asked him, he had all these cars, right? And they was like, so like how you pick out your cars and stuff, or like the engines and stuff. He goes, well, I just go to the place and I go, which one costs the most?
Hmm.
And he goes, so that one there costs the most. Is it the best? And the guy goes, yeah, it's the best one. He goes, well, exactly. That's why I got it. And I promise you guys, like I'm not a lead company. I'm not endorsing any lead company. I don't give a shit. Buy the leads. Everybody goes, we got the best leads ever. I'm like, dude, y'all all use Meta. Quit, stop it. Okay. We got the super fire to duper leads. I'm like, stop. Okay. Like if they got 3 levels of leads, right? They got the bronze. I'm like, dude, just get the basic one.
Yeah.
All right. Because they're all seeing the same damn ad. And then they come to you and then they ask one more question. You pay $12 more per lead. Screw that. Save your $12. Get the basic one. You're going to sell just as much. All right. And there's somebody who sells leads right now. I was like, damn, Dom told the secret. I don't care. All right. Because y'all need to get paid. All right. Don't get bamboozled by all these different leads and all. It's like, dude, just get the ones that are coming in fresh.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? At the fairest price. All right. At the fairest price. If you see one and you're buying yours for $25 a piece and you see one that's for 22, man, just stay with your 25. Like, don't do that. That's like the client going, oh, I saved $3 to come on. Don't be the client that you hate. Make sense? But if you buying them for 35 and you see them for 20, dude, odds are they're using the same place. Just buy them there. Make
Yeah.
sense? So I know I'm maybe getting off a little bit, but new
No,
leads is the way to go for me.
no,
That's the way I was taught. And but there's a place for age leads. But you're not going to be high volume 10, 12 presentations a day scrounging through old leads. That just won't happen.
no, that's really good, man. I'm glad you clarified that too, man. How much do you spend on leads and things of that nature? Like if you're looking to scale, right? And you hear from everybody who's really having a lot of success in the business. It's a common theme. Yeah, I'm spending between 1,500 to 2,000 dollars a week, 1,500 to 2,000 dollars a week. Like I'm talking about people who are doing 40, 50,000 dollars a month in
Yeah.
sales, right? Like, yeah, I'm doing 1,500 to 2,000. Like that is a requirement if you're looking to scale up, right? And I always tell people like, hey, when it comes to the business, you got to start, right? You have to start with very little resources and a lot of time, and you got to work your way through it, but don't stay on the age leads for a long time, right? Invest into the fresh leads whenever you make a profit, right? And you want to get on that roller coaster as fast as you possibly can. No, this is really, really good. I got some fire questions for you, man.
Okay.
Um, I know it's 8:35 right now, but when you first got started, I know you said that you were, playing baseball. You had just got out of college, right? Did you work any jobs in between then, or did you come right into insurance?
Nah, just right into insurance, man.
Into
Yep.
insurance, man. That's kind of like me, man. Like I went to Ohio State. I didn't play any sports in college, but I transitioned right into the business as well, man. So very similar stories. That's pretty impressive. Um,
Yeah. Lucked
what
out, dude.
Yeah, man. What was the turning point that made you commit fully to life insurance? Like, did you come in and hit a home run,
And
or did you like have a little bit of
you know,
challenges?
well, dude, challenges, yes. Commitment came early.
Mm,
All right. A lot of my challenge came after the commitment. You know what I mean? And I think a lot of people you will have those. You may have, you know what I mean? But like when I started, I was fresh off of just playing sports and being on teams. So when I met Sean, I immediately was like, oh, dude, I found a coach. Like he got the playbook. Oh, dude, like I wanna work my butt off to not be able to lose this playbook.
hmm
Makes sense? So I committed early, and it was also because he worked so hard. You know what I mean? Like he worked really hard. He's selling a ton of insurance, and I was selling side by side from him. He was selling 3 years before me. So just seeing him do his thing, I was like, "Dude, like this is real." So the commitment that this was gonna be my way of living came early. It's kind of like baseball. Like at 5 years old when I played t-ball, I was like, I want to be a professional. I haven't had very many things that I said I was going to do. You know what I mean? Like I just said, oh, I'm going to play professional baseball, and I played sports all through high school and stuff like that. And then that, boom. Then it was like, all right, well, it's like you're going to be a top producing insurance agent. You know what I mean? That looks like what you're going to do now. And I think sometimes we don't believe, and I'm not saying this like, oh, I I knew the value of everything, but I just knew. I know sometimes folks think that they're going to have many more opportunities. Like oh, this is something that I'm going to try out. I never saw this as something I was going to try out, Jay.
Hmm.
Like I never saw this as something as like, oh, let me just see if this works. Dude, I saw MetLife Stadium. I saw the insurance companies. I saw how I was like, dude, they got the same license as me. Yep. Like, damn. Okay. Now it's just a matter of just doing it. This is one of the only industries that is really laid out for any of us. It's just laid out. My mommy or daddy didn't do this. They don't come from the, you know what I mean? Like it this isn't something that's like, man, I just knew it was in the card.
Hmm.
But once it's in your face, you got to make it your card. And I think everybody here needs to go from I'm gonna try this thing out to I'm gonna do this.
Mm.
And when you say I'm gonna do this, dude, that commitment just goes. You start doing the things you're supposed to do, and your client, they know the difference between somebody who is trying this out or somebody who's committed to what they're doing. And it's not about your product knowledge. Probably about how you ask them through their why, how you relate to them. You know, your jokes, are they genuine or are they those, run of the mill, it's hot out, it's raining dogs and cats, whatever they say, whatever cornballs say. Makes sense. They 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 need, like, are you real or are you just trying to get through the script?
Hmm.
And a lot of that comes from do you yourself. That's why I like that, I know I can because now they're going to deal with a whole lot of stuff. Did I ever want to quit this business? Hell yeah. But I was like, damn, this is a lot. Like, shit, I didn't know. I was like, I didn't know what I was signing up for all this. And like, damn, you mean when you hire people and they quit, you got to deal with this, and then this happens, and then damn, like, oh my God, like,
A
but
lot.
you know what? Every time something happened in the business, it also let me know why we get paid so much and why so few people make it. So every time something happened like that in the business, Jalen, I'd be like, oh, so this is why people got it. All right. Just like when I was playing baseball, every level I raised up, I was like, oh, so this is why they didn't want to do this. Oh, they didn't want to keep their grades up. They didn't want to have to go to this camp. They didn't want to have to wake up at this time. See, it gets thinned out your tax bracket. Every time you move up one, you're going to go, damn, like there was somebody with just as much talent that just didn't make it to this level. Why? They didn't stick through the crap. And I implore everybody on here just to not quit. Like, just don't quit. Give it your all, but just don't quit because eventually you're going to get sick and tired of sucking, letting the clients run all over you, and you're going to be the person that you are.
Mm.
But up until then, you just got to keep fighting the fight. All right. And then you'll run into some stuff. I promise you that. I had a new agent the other day. God, my man's just been, talk about just, my man Scott. My man is a military guy. And probably his first 90 days, he's probably at day like 70 right now, actually. Probably issued maybe $7,000, something like that. And this week, right, just by just sticking it out, he ain't changed nothing. This week, he's written 8,500.
Wow.
I don't know if everybody, well, actually, I know everybody has that in them, Jalen, but I don't know if everybody's willing to go through it like that. And it's like, go through what? What did he go through? It's been 2.5 months, right? He's learning sales, right? He's spent maybe $4,000 on leads. He's probably made $4,000 in commissions. He's broken even after 2.5 months. Is it that bad? Kind of goes into what we talked about when we opened up the call, dude. Just kind of controlling those emotions. but then he busts out with an $8,500 a week. And it wasn't like one big policy. It wasn't like, oh, he ran into the one dude. No, he was just continuing to work. And then they just started to turn over. But his attitude and activity has been right for 70 days. That on day 71, he starts hitting. But give yourself some credit. And a lot of us here, it's our first time. It's your first time being an entrepreneur. It's your first time being in sales. Give yourself a break. That doesn't mean hit the brakes, don't work. That just means give yourself a break. And the people around you, let them know, dude, it's my first time. Give me a break. You know what I mean? Oh, you didn't make no sales today? Oh, man, I told you those leads weren't good. No, dude, I'm not good. It's my first time doing this. Why don't you give me a break and stop busting the leads chops, dude? You know the leads are good. You know the leads are good. You know Jalen, Mike, you know all those guys are making money. Say, come on, stop it. I need to get better. Give me a break. Makes sense? And when you start speaking like that to the people around you and start speaking to yourself that way, you're going to start making breakthroughs. You give yourself a break, you start making breakthroughs. So I appreciate you having me on, Jay.
Yeah, likewise. Thank you so much, man. I definitely appreciate you, man. I always tell people, man, I got this thing on my background, on my screensaver, right? I mean, when I first got started, man, I feel like when I just got started into the insurance business, man, I had a whole bunch of like epiphanies, man. Like it's just like God was just working with me, changing my entire mentality. And one of the biggest things that he said is take ownership for everything, you know. Take ownership for the things that goes wrong. Take ownership for all the things that you don't like. Just take ownership because the minute you give away ownership and you start blaming the leads and blaming everybody else, blaming the systems, blaming the process, you give those things control. And then until those things change, quote unquote, that you want to see it, then that's when you're able to make a change yourself. But if I just take ownership from the beginning, I can change. I can choose to change anytime. Right. And my mentor told me, he said, when I first got started, he said, the business always works itself out. The business always works itself out. You will have a $0 day here, $1,000 day there, but then, like you said, day 70, you'll end up having an $8,500 day, and then boom, things change, right? Like my first year in the business, man, I made less than $10,000 my first year, and I just stuck that thing through, and we pushed through it. And like you said, I had a breakthrough in January of 2021, had a $20,000 a month. I just had a enough is enough moment, like you said, man, and I turned it around for me, man. And I definitely appreciate you, man, for coming on. Do you happen to have any final words or anything you want to share to the people before we conclude?
Well, thank you for having me on. One last thing I will say, I wrote this down here. I had no clue what we were going to be talking about tonight. But I wrote this down of like the power of saying no. Okay. As an entrepreneur, we're talking about boundaries and things. So no is one of the most powerful things that you're going to have to learn how to say. All right. No can be said as not right now. I wish I could. Right. And it's hard because like Jalen said, when you become that entrepreneur, you become that 1099 contractor, almost people see that as like you're available.
Mm-hmm.
And it's how soon you start saying no that lets them know how available you are.
Mm-hmm.
All right. I made mistakes when I started working from home, I was like, oh, okay, so I don't got to drive to my office 30 minutes. All right. So now, oh, you know what? I'm going to just start taking my kids to school, right? Without like even like, oh, I'm going to just take them. Right. But then on days that I didn't want to take them, we didn't communicate. Then it started to turn this into this like, well, can you take them or can you not take them? And then it was just like, nah, I think I was just doing it because I could, quote unquote, but I shouldn't. Right. And so I put myself in these positions of like, oh man, now I got to say no to something that I created this problem. And I think you got to look at, could you or should you? Right. And if you shouldn't, say no or not right now. And that's with a lot of things. It could be the vacation. It could be a lot of things. All right. It could be something as small as, Daddy, you want to go play catch with me? I wish I could, son, not right now. Let me knock this thing out. And if it's still light outside, we'll make it happen. Versus, oh, you know what? Let me just take 15 minutes, go play catch with them real quick. Right? There's that piece of you that can just say yes to stuff. You got to learn to say no. All right. So that's all I would have to say in closing, bro. But thank you for having me on. And I appreciate all the feedback you guys gave.
Yeah, man, this is really, really good. Thank you so much. Definitely
Right on.
appreciate your presence, man, and super grateful for you, man. If you need anything from us, please let us know, brother.
No doubt, brother. Thank you for having me on, man. Peace
Thank you.
out.
Have a blessed one.